I am Prince Upir. I am the wrath of the frozen dales. I am the great and terrible. It is nice to make your acquaintance, Van Helsing.
Likewise. I heard that you might consider joining our cause again.
Your men made a convincing argument. My hatred towards the clanking scientific abominations knows no limits, and I should let my anger flow freely. I am an expert on the mundane and the occult.
And he knows his way around rebellions. He personally suppressed a lot of peasant uprisings back in the day.
That is indeed true. I could be useful for your little resistance.
Do you need me now, sir?
General Harker is sending a good old-fashioned army against us through the tunnels. He is a stubborn fellow. I'll give him that.
This is getting annoying. I'll deal with them.
Look who is here! A little birdie told me that you found some moonstones in the wilderness.
Does this birdie have a creepy mask on his face?
Actually, yes. It was Prisoner 7.
See, Van Helsing? Your friend is always listening, always watching, always interfering. It's suspicious.
Katerina, please. Knowledge and secrets are his trade. He told us this much the first time. Yes, we found the moonstones. Why?
These moonstones are the crystallized tears of the mythical entity called Koshai the Deathless. Shattered, of course, but I could make them whole again. Yes, yes! Only if you wanted, of course.
Of course I want it. Do it, please.
I sense a disturbance in the air. A gate has opened around here.
All manner of things.
Well, Van Helsing, did you defeat Harker's troops in the tunnels?
Of course I have.
Congratulations! This victory will do wonders for the morale.
Why would they need a laboratory in the ink?
Maybe they were experimenting with opening doors to other worlds.
That's a recipe for disaster! How many lab accidents do mad scientists need to recognize that?
Until a lone hero comes to make a mess. I don't expect them to change.
What are these? I've never seen anything like them before. And I'm from Bulgaria.
I don't know. They were dangerously territorial.
I think they were dangerously cute. This is supposed to be a secret government facility, but I am certain soldiers around.
Maybe the creatures ate their guardians.
That's so good.
I can't do that.
Cute. In a bloodthirsty, vicious way. Library.
Look at those books. Bursting with knowledge.
That explains the oversized brains swarming all over the place. Look at these books. Most of them are about the Chimera. See that one? How to feed your chimera. Could you sum it up for me?
I'll give you a quick summary.
Just read it already.
The chimera's body is raw ink material. And you can't feed a creature of pure magic with ordinary food. They live on magical essences that they smell from miles apart.
We should find someone who sells essence on wholesale price. So, what should be next? The origins of the chimera? I love origin stories.
Let's see. The chimera is a creature made of the material of the ink itself. Clever, swift, and strong. Originally created by Koshai the Deathless as bodyguard and hunter in the ink. The ink slowly distorts them, though, so the older specimen are true beasts.
So it's a hunting doggy with some character flaws?
I wouldn't call them that. What if they're offended?
This library is definitely a treasure trove of knowledge if you are interested in the chimera. See that one? How to train your chimera.
I suppose it's not a tale of friendship and adventure between an imprisoned chimera and a young boy.
The shelf for adventure stories must be in the other corner.
Let's see. I found something interesting. The chimera is a creature of magic. Therefore, its body can be influenced by arcane means. Put magic candles in the summoning ring to modify its abilities.
And what would be those new abilities?
That's quite a long list. Greater strength, faster movement, thicker hide, bigger resistance to magic, advanced fighting skills.
That's it! I want my own chimera! Now! A stack of notes. This must be the draft of a new volume.
Let's see. In order to turn the chimera into a loyal guardian, the prospective master must defeat it in a special circle of combat. If he or she fails, the creature is set free.
I don't care about the failed attempts. Please go on.
If anyone enters a circle of combat, the spell recognizes the contestant and summons a new chimera.
We must find this circle of combat immediately. I want a chimera. I will call it Fluffy.
I don't have enough mana. possible. Not possible.
Would you just look at it? Another game of revolving statues.
I don't have enough mana.
To my chimera!
Nothing. It simply disappeared before I could finish the fight.
We must find it. Fluffy! Where are you? This green lantern makes me nervous. It looks like something out of this world.
And the monsters seem to feed on it. It's a rare artifact. We'll take it to our scientists.
must be the source of the magic. It could be filled with essence.
Glad to hear that. We always need more of that.
Wait! We have just learned that the Chimera eats raw essence. What if they all smell it?
Then we'll take care of them. I won't leave anything like this. You're not the only one who can sniff out magic.
This one is very satisfied with your investigation, Van Helsing. You are the first man in a very long time who found himself a Chimera Guardian.
Sadly, he didn't. We failed. I lost my Fluffy. Here I am, without a pony or a dog.
You didn't lose the Chimera. It came immediately here to guard its master's home. You will find it in the study.
Great. Let's see how it goes when the beast doesn't try to eat me.
Fluffy? I can call it Fluffy, right?
Shall I take the men to fight science with science?
Great! You are back. The storm has passed and your masked friend told us that the lightning strikes had destroyed Harker's force domes. That's the perfect opportunity to launch the offensive and take back the foundry through the Viaduct Junction.
Prepare 2 squadrons, Commander. We will use the ink gates to ambush the enemy.
Harker must have used some sort of distortion device in the ink. We can't enter the gates. You have to advance through the underground tunnels.
This man, why can't he make it easy for us? Just once.
And it gets worse. Our spies report that there are certain creatures of interest in the army that occupies Viaduct Junction. 3 of them, actually.
And who would they be?
One of them is Captain Blood, charged with heinous war crimes. The second is a serial killer, the Gas Mask Man, who is hiding among the soldiers. The third is an experimental military automaton. This alpha prototype emits poisonous radiation. You must deal with them.
So, our soldiers tried to move into the junction, but they met ferocious resistance everywhere. But there is an enemy outpost nearby where we could possibly break through.
Thank you, Captain. Do you have anything else to report?
Yes, sir. We seized one of their great cannons, although we are low on munitions. Anyway, now we can return their fire. Just tell our boys where to shoot.
Harker's heavily armed units surrounded the launch tower. Our soldiers need your help to break through.
Prisoner 7, do you have any news from Harker's lines?
Of course. Your enemies have a field artillery nearby that covers this whole area. They also brought in a railway gun on the tracks that lead to the launch tower. It would be most desirable to destroy all of them.
I'll take care of them. Anything else?
Yes. Harker's captains are planning to take back the Ornithopter launch tower.
So you're telling me that we should be at two places at once? Isn't this just great? It's a good thing that we have our own soldiers.
Sir, we have secured the launch tower. We are awaiting your commands.
Stay here and defend the launch tower. We can't let the enemy occupy this place.
Your Chimera has returned from a successful hunt. Return to the lair to receive the spoils of the hunt. attack. Help our soldiers defend their position.
Passengers, please expect delays on the main lines until further notice.
Captain Blood is near. Find that man and kill him.